Dear all, in previous video we discussed how to create the tables. So now we will start designing the pages which is asked in the question. So go to the question, AMS demo. Oh, it's just copy. So so whatever the questions you will be asked to complete 3 to 4 code operations, database operations. Here they asked you to design, add account, view account, and update customer. Add account, what they have asked is customer ID to be displayed. This is the page design. So please go through the question and understand the page, what is the requirement actually. Customer ID text box input. It is a mandatory validation we have to do. Branch, it should be a drop down, populate from branch table. So they have not specified the branch ID or name or something. In that case, you can decide what is the required uh, property to be populated here. Okay. And account type, let it drop down, select current and saving. We are asked to be populate on page load and balance amount. This is a text box and it should take only the integer. These are all what constraints, that is what validations that we have to perform. It's privilege. So what actually the creation of the tables, we have set the privileges as a string. By referring this only, we have set this as what string, because privileges we have to ask either silver, gold, or platinum. These three options should be the radio buttons. So there is one database operation asked here. It means that the drop-down list should be filled with the branch details. So there's a branch ID or branch name that need to be populated here. So populate the branch W with the values from the branch table. The account ID, account type is selected as current. Then they given some condition. If the user select the current account, the balance should be displayed as 1000. So what the text box, the balance is there. So default nothing will be there. That need to be changed as 1000. And for the savings, it should be displayed as 500. Okay, this is the minimum balance for each account type. The executive can change the balance amount also while creating the account. It means that while selecting the account type, automatically the default values need to be filled in the text box. Also, we need to give the provision to change it. So since it is a text box, the user can change it, but the user select the current, it need to be filled with 1000. Savings means 500. Later on, they can change the minimum balance. Okay. On submit button, the details should be added to the account table. So these details need to be inserted into the account table when we click on the submit button. So see the account table properties of the account ID. This is auto-generated. Customer ID, it is asked from the user. And account type, this is also the input. Balance, this is also input. Branch ID, this is also what input. And the privilege, this is also what input. So since the branch ID is populated automatically from the branch table, we need not worry about the foreign key properties. But the customer ID, they have not asked to auto-populate. They asked you to what read from the user. So when we read the customer ID, the user should give what the existing customer ID is, because the customer ID is a foreign key. Without an entry in the customer table with this customer ID, a record cannot be what added. For example, the customer ID is given as 1001. The 1001 customer is not presented in the customer table, so you cannot insert your record into the note. So that need to be what verified. It will be what a runtime error. So user will not aware of which. Okay, so we need not bother about it. Okay, it will be at a runtime. So while checking, you need to give what? Giving existing customer ID. Okay, so this is what the add account page, so that we can the complete design of this page, because this page is not linked with any other page. Okay, only just to what? Inserting a record. So we will complete this page first, and we will verify whether this is success or not by checking the database. Okay, before start designing, okay, for any web page, okay, add a home page by default, add menus, okay, with the option navigation link for the corresponding pages which is asked in the pushing. Okay, so here we need to create a menu with the three options: add account, view account, and update customers. We need not design a complex or stylish menus and all. So create a simple menu. The ultimate aim is what? We need to provide the link to these pages. Okay, so that is a home page. No need to want to display anything on the home page. Only it is having the menu. It will navigate it to what? Add account page, or view account page, or a customer page. Let's come to the Visual Studio. Visual Studio Code. Here, first of all, you create the home page first. And the home page, the menu need to be what displayed in all the pages. So better to start with what? Creating a header. Okay? And for the login page, we need not create what? The menus. We need not add the menu. So you create two kinds of the header. One is for login, one is for other pages. In other pages header, we need to include the menu. Okay. So for creating a simple menu, add header, okay, dot php. Okay. So shortcut to display the basic content template of the HTML. Put type the exclamatory mark and enter. So it will give the basic template of the HTML page. So within that body, we need to provide the option for creating a menu. First of all, what you take on image, okay, and copy it in your folder. You display that image as in the center, so which provides a company name, okay, which is there in the header. So I will copy one image from AMS, okay, which is there in the image folder. Okay, we can copy that image and I can paste it inside what is AMS. Okay, so now in the header.php, so we can add a header like this. Okay, copy this and paste it. Okay, so that it will display the images slash and then shasta.ph. So this is what just a header. You can test it whether it is displaying or not. Okay, with what? Adding a home page. Okay, home.php. Here also I am typing the same, but here I am going to include this page for including colon php include in double quote header dot php. So I included this within that body. Now you can verify these pages are getting opened or not. Localhost 00 AMS German slash home dot php. See that this is getting opened. Correct. So now we have to add a code for menu. The menu no need to complicate. Let's create a simple menu. Simple menus can be created with the help of a sequence of hyperlinks. So create a division and add a hyperlink A href, okay, and equal to what? Something we have to do, okay. And then I have to give that name a home page, okay. So here I can provide the same what home dot php, okay, href, then slash a. You see that will be displayed like so. Home means home alone will be created. So you can also what display like this means will be displayed like this. Okay, that can be displayed after this EA, and I can give another hyperlink, another hyperlink, another hyperlink. One is for what? Add. What are the options? Add account dot php. You can give the option as add account. Another option is you see the question add account, view account, and update customer. Okay, so view account dot php it is not existing, but you have to create the view account. Okay, and the next anchor link update customer, update customer dot php the link update customer. Okay, so you see that the changes in that. Okay, so it will be displayed like this. So you can, if you want to add more style, you can add it. Otherwise, what you can keep it as it is. Okay, so you see that it is navigated to add phone.php. It is not created, so it's showing the error message. Okay. So the next we need to use the if it is in the question, if it is asked login page, and we need to what provide the authentication. So authentication means the header. This you can better to what create these two pages. We can add the authentication. After that, you create what add account dot php. So in that also what you add it, and only add one header. Okay. Similarly, you add the update view account dot php, and we can insert that page header dot php, and then we can add update customer dot php. Here you can add this. Okay. So that you can see now add account means add account dot php, view account dot php. So to feel that difference, okay, in the header you can place here horizontal bar, okay, and each page you can print some message h1 center, okay, and then this page is what add account page. account page. So slash center. Later on, you can use the CSS for that. For simple, which one? So that we can easily identify these pages are getting open. So update customer. Yeah, we can add the update web page and view account. We can paste it and we can add view account. So that we can I have placed a horizontal bar and view account is a view account. This add account. This is customer. Update customer. It is not getting displayed. Update customer. See that update. Yes, it is there. It is not saved. So we save. So no, this is update customer. So for that, a home page also we can display that home page. Update customer home page. So this is that we can identify. So the record number of pages is what designed now. So now see the requirement how to design uh, add account page. Okay. So before creating that add account page, let us create a login and logout pages so that it can be asked the questions. But here in this question, it is not asked login page to be created. Okay, now the login page, but I will explain how to create that simple login page. Because login also is one of the full operation. It can be a part of the operation. So if we create the login page means the proper authentication we need to give. It means the user request any page that should not be opened simply that need to be redirected to the login page. Only authenticated user can open any page. So create one more. So header, home, and all other three pages we created. Now login, without PHP. So create the template. Here we need not include this header because the header is what containing the menu. The login page menu should not be there. So what you add login header page. Okay, it is not required. Just we can add this whatever there here in the header. This we can add it only what image. That is for login header. And we can give this include PHP include login header dot PHP. So that this will be opened and login header we can add a charge design. We can also use some break via so that it will be so you can check the login page when it is displayed in dot PHP. So it is open. So here I have to place the username and password and two text boxes and so okay. Then we need to add it in the login. So see here I have copied the code for the login page. After this login header, okay, create the division, okay, and here I used a as a style as for content body, how it looks that I will explain, okay. So yeah, the styles we can simplify content body and the view body, so that what the content will be displayed in the middle properly in the middle So you can use these common styles for all the pages, okay, that I will tell you. And this is for what title. Okay, the title how to be displayed. That style is applied, and you create a form because username and the password need to be read in the form of form. So for the form, action is not empty, because if action is empty means the submission is submitted input will be received in the same page as the page, and when we click on the submit button, the same page is getting reloaded. So for the form, don't forget to give the ID and the method. These two properties post. When we create the table, so two rows, one row, okay, and then two columns. This is row 1, column 1, column 2. Next row 2, column 1, and column 2. So simply we need to use the two text boxes in the column 2. Okay. And then the column 1 we have to use the labels. And this is what row 1, and this is what row 2. The table is getting finished. At the end of the table, we need to what? Place here submit button. Okay. And then this is optional whether what login for the new user, whether they wanted to what register account, that you can display. This is just two paragraphs. Okay. So before that, use the styles content body, title, column 1, orange box, column 2, green box. So usually commonly what for all the column 1 we used this style, column 2 we used this style, the title we used this style. Okay. And two types of container styles I have is content body and it's a big body. So let us see these styles how it is looking so that you can use this as a common styles in your code as well. So for that you need to create a style sheet here. Okay, so standard style .css. Okay, create a style sheet here that need to be added in all the pages. So we are designing login page character. So the login page header, and I am using what link, and then SRC. This is not SRC actually. So this kind of thing you have to remember. For the link, this href and relation, two properties. So href is a reference to that file std style.css. The relation is what type of file, so style sheet that we have to use. So this is standard way to not link the style sheet to this one. So in that style sheet we have to add the content. See that the styles I'm going to copy from that Google one. Okay. Standard style. So far we are using the content body. Copy. This is content body. You see that main thing is the border. First four is the border. Next two is the margin. Another three is the font and the background colors. Okay. You see that this is the font size and font color. This is a background color. You leave it. This is a common thing. So that you can say. And the border need to be what should be displayed with box. There is a 2 pxl and a solid dashed line or something like that. Yes. And then color, which color the border should be applied. So this is only for what the border will be displayed in blue color. The radius means a curved corner will be displayed. And the content body and view body, the two container styles is differed in the margin and the padding. So margin is a 25% and 25%. That means this will be displayed as a box character. This 25 which 25 represent four values are the top, right, bottom, left. So this is what right and this is left. Top is 10 and bottom is 10. We no need to bother with top and bottom. Okay, we need one that need to be displayed as a center. So that margin is set as 25. So that content body, the division is going to be placed in the full page. For the page, outer side, we will leave the 25% space. Inner side, if you want to leave the space, you have to use a padding. Okay, within that content body division, inner side, if you want to give the space, means you have to give the margin. So margin we have set only margin and the padding. With this, we can make somewhat contours or not aligned in the page. Right? So this the two are the important. Other things are optional. Design box can be displayed or not. A font size that can be modified or not. That is okay. So this is the content body still. And then another one, view body, which is differed only in the margin and the padding. Okay, here the same thing, background and the font size and the font color, they only differed in the padding. Okay, so login content body means what? Within this from here to here. Okay, alone it will be what computer because 25 percentage on the right side, 25 percentage on the left side, that means the space. But in the view body means it will be used for displaying the tables because for displaying the tables we almost need the entire horizontal space. So that only we used only 10 percentage on the left and right margin. Okay. So now the content body is copied. Another style which one we have used is title. The title is nothing but just a font size as text and in center, and font weight is a boldness. Boldness is we are giving bold, it means 700. So we given one somewhat bold. Okay. So this to copy the same title. So next style we used column 1, column 2, green box and orange box, and the column 1, column 2. See here, just I copied the column 1, column 2, green box and orange box. See that mainly the column 1, column 2 is a text styles. Okay, text align left. Because the left side of column 1, the controls need to be aligned as left. For the column 2, controls is going to be placed. The column 2 is going to be what? Aligned as center. So vertical align, you can give both middle. And the padding left, top, bottom. Okay, left, top, bottom alone we have given. Okay, so each 5 pixels. For the first one alone, it will give the 20%. That is a 20 px. Padding is inside space. Okay, inside that which this class is applied to the column. Uh, First cell means inside that cell you have to leave the spaces. Then font color properties, font size and font weight. Column 2 will be the same, only the alignment will be what different. Okay. And the table, usually we need to create the table. We set them width as 100%. Table row width is 100%. And table column is a 50%. This is standard. We will also manage. So say styles. Okay. And here in the login page, we copied this one. You see that this is the input text box and input password button. Okay, and on focus out, I called one JavaScript. This is for what? Only we are selecting for validating the username. We used what? The validate name. That you can do that validation after completing the code operations. Because if you spend the time in the validation first, you may not have the time to complete the code operation. So complete it first, then you come back to what the validations. Okay. So now you assume that all are the valid username and password. I am not calling the name validations. Okay. And when we call this a password, this is unnecessary values. Okay. It is need not to be given as initial values. Only PWD ID and then username is necessary. And the button is what? Submit. View and submit is the value. Submit. And the style, you see that on this combo alone we used in our for the button. Actually, in the paragraph, we do not use this bold and only column 2 is enough. Okay, column 2 is enough. Because column 2 contain was center property, so we will display as what center. So now you check the login button, login.php, you see that. It's up. So if you are using any box here, it will be displayed in your box. Because the orange box and that also we copied. Orange box, just what the border strings we have applied. Solid 2 pixel rounded rectangle, color in orange. Solid rounded rectangle, okay, and color is in green. So that it is displaying the green color box and the orange colors. This is up to you how to design. So the standard styles we used as well. Standard styles we have used as content body, title. Title we have not yet used. That can be used here. I think in the log, and that here I will use the title. So it is displaying in the center. Okay, so this I will use the login. So, good. And now come to the form submission. When the user click on this form submit button, okay, so the same form will be reloaded. So I have to write the code here. When it is getting reloaded, I need to check whether the server is requested for post. Okay, it will be checked by what? If dollar underscore server of requested method, which is equal to what? Post. It means that to check the page is getting loaded, the server is requested by clicking the submit button. Submit button means the form is getting submitted. Submission method is for post. So the submitted method, the request method is for the post method. Since it is a PHP code, you can complete it. Okay. So whether this is getting fired or not, when we are clicking on the submit button, this need to be what fired. So you can trace the code by using some alert message. Alert is actually a JavaScript. So the JavaScript command can be printed using the echo command in the PHP. The PHP, if you want to print something means you have to use echo. Suppose if you are using success here, that will be printed on the page. Okay. So that we can identify it is getting executed. Okay. When during the page load, this will not be printed. For example, you see here, this is why I'm refreshing. Okay. There is no success in the page. Then when we click on the view and submit, there is a success in this page. So then it means that it is getting fired. So what the request is post. Right? Suppose instead of the submit button, if you are having some button here, type is for button. Okay, and this is not like water submit, so this is button. So suppose someone if I click this button, the form will not be submitted. If the form is not submitted, the page is getting reloaded. If the form is not submitted, the request method is not yet post. Okay, so be clear. So if I run the same here, okay, see that view and submit and button. When you click on the button, the same page is getting loaded, but what it is not getting updated, nothing will happen. And view and submit, the button type is what submit. Okay, so that form is submitted to the requested page. The requested page is the same page. So the requested method is a post, so that it is displayed the success. So you can debug your code by putting some echo or alert message. Echo means it will be displayed on the page. You can also not use alert message, but alert message is a script. Okay, so the script JavaScript can be executed through what PHP. For that, we need to use instead of printing the message directly, echo, we print the message like script. I need to mention the type on that, just a script alert, and then within the quote, single quote, okay, success. I put the semicolon, and then we can. What is the meaning is the script is getting added to your page. It will be prepared. Since it is a script, it will be executed. Okay, so that it will pop up an alert message. Okay, see here, you also need success. Now we are in between reloading the page. JavaScript is getting executed. Right. See here, double quote and single quote, always you will have the confusion. Okay, if you are using the outer side double quote, you need to use inner side what single quote. Okay, here also if you are using double quote, it will be an issue. Otherwise, you can keep like this: outer side a single quote and the inner side and double quote. This also correct. So when we are using the double quote and single quote, we ensure that inside also you cannot use like a single quote. So this is so you can use this as what whether that part is getting fired or not. So when we click on the submit button, page is gets loaded, and now this method is true, so we are in touch. Suppose if this method is the get, if you are using, okay, now method is a get and not the post, it will not be fired. Okay, it will not be fired. Change back to the post. You see here the two text input boxes, these two values will be received. Okay, the name we have used the username and the PW. So the name property will be used from the PHP side and ID will be used in the JavaScript side. So with this username and this PWD, we can identify the input. So we are submitting these two input alone is received here. Now I have to receive dollar underscore post of, okay, and what is the name we have referred here? Just to copy this, okay, and within the double quote paste it. This is one. Next what the password PWD, that's two will be not received here. Okay. So you can also what you check both are what received successfully or not by using the if command. So these are all the way to what debug your code. Okay, whether you have that sent input is what received here. Okay. So now we are using get method. It is using like this. Okay. Now log in. So when we click on this click button, success, and it is printing what admin input both username and what password. So both are what getting received. So now I have to add the database operations here. Okay. So now I can copy this into a local variable dollar union dollar password. This will be what PW. It's also what password. Now you can check this username and the password is correct or not. If dollar union equal to, you can set default admin and password equal to admin 123. So this is to manual check and not database check. So that what you can log in a success. You need to be redirected to the homepage. For redirecting, you have to use what header of location colon and then home dot PHP. Okay. And before that, that user and all pages need to be authenticated. For that, the username need to be what copied into the session variable, so that other pages can check that session variable valid username is presented or not. So use dollar underscore session of, and you can use any variable name. So you may, but that will be used for refer the username in all the pages. So equal to what? The dollar union. So whatever the union will be stored. Then you can redirect. If you are using the session, you need to use what session underscore start. So then will be used on that. Otherwise, we need to what error message invalid username and password. So I have to use the echo command here. Using what alert message. Okay, invalid username and password. Okay, so now you check this login admin. You go to the home page. So logout is not there. So again you log in, and then if you're giving the wrong password, okay, and submit, it will show what not updated. Okay, it will not go to the next page. Actually, what it should show the username, so it is getting reloaded by default. So use admin1 and user. So it is not get displayed this by item. So invalid username. So you should leave the special symbols, I guess. Okay. So here only we need to check these values from the database. Database code will need to be presented here. Okay. For that, first we need to create the table in the name of what user. Okay. So you select this one and select the SQL and then use create the table. The table name users. Okay. New name marker of 20 or 50, password of 50. Table is created. Now you can insert the so insert into union set the sorry insert into the table name users set into users values. I have to pass two values a1 username AU1 password semicolon BB1 password and then BB CC1 password CC user CC1 is a password. So just about execute this program. Spell mistake users. Okay, see the cards are added. So now we can use this database operation here. Okay, for any database operation in the beginning itself include the description. Okay, DB configuration. PHP that will be included. So we insert the DB underscore config. So just to copy this configuration from this one. I think this one down is needed. Okay, this and all are what not needed. Only what 4 arguments MySQL I connect localhost, root, username, password, and then database management. The database name is actually AM in demo. Just to check. Remaining will be the default values for the localhost. So come to the login page here. So session db.dbconfig.php. Now I have to do the insertion of this. Sorry, login is success or not. I need to retrieve the values from there. So I have to form a SQL query $SQL equal to select star from okay, and then users where uname equal to uname equal to $uname and password equal to dollar so that you can use a single quote. To execute the query, SQL query, we have to use MySQL underscore SQL MySQL I underscore query. I have to pass this db command keyword that need to be executed. So for this query, it will return a table so that the dollar result equal. So if you want to find the number of rows in the RES, I have to use SQL and row count. We have the password RES. We can save it in CNT. We can check the CNT is greater than or equal to instead of username and password. Dollar CNT is greater than or equal to the at least to one user. We can check it for example one user. Press enter, then save it and refresh. So what is the username and password we have given? VVVV1, correct? So that this admin will be logged in. Syntax as start underscore session instead of that. We change it. Start underscore session. Semicolon is missing. 24 RES. 24th line. Again semicolon is missing. Start session undefined. So previous one is correct. Session underscore start. Okay. So it is getting. So now what if we give AA1, it will be what? Center. So row count. There is no function what? Row count. So row count and rows count both are wrong. So actually what it is num rows. Number of rows. So echo count, you can check it whether it is printing or not. So login page medium one. So it is printing. Okay, for page as well. So then is num rows. This is also what one of the SQL function to find the number of rows. So this echo is not there. Okay. This username will be assigned to the session variable. Now the same page is getting what? Reloaded. That is what header home. If it is invalid means the same page will be what? Reloaded. See here the problem is uh, we are giving authentication username and password. So if the username and password is valid, it will be navigated to the front page. Even if you are not giving the username, if you directly request to the page in the URL, so it is redirected to what? This page. This is actually what this one you see here. Login. Okay. So AA and AA1 is getting what? Submit. So even if you give the login, now if you are giving admin1, it may be username and password. It means that the username and password is not valid. Now directly if you are requesting the page home.php will be not only the home and home will be open. So the authentication need to be provided for all the pages. Correct? So that can be done using what this session video. So we have requested what the home page, add account page, update page. All these pages are loaded along with what header. So the authentication code can be written on what header. Okay. So header.php. So during that loading, okay, we can check question mark colon and then mark question mark. So figure. So we need to check the authentication by checking the session variable. So if dollar underscore session of, we need to use the uname, okay, which is equal to null, not set. Okay, so then we can set if is set of uname. Okay, it means valid password. Okay, so if it is not, yeah, username, it is not set, then it need to be what this redirected to home page. Okay, so header on location colon and then login dot php. That we have to check. If it is not set, now I need to redirect to login page. So the header width is getting loaded, so this will be checked. So that, so even if you request the add account page, there is a mistake in the 14th line. This is semicolon missing. Okay, so it is redirected to the log. Okay, suppose once if you logged in with the valid username and password, so admin 123, which is not added in the database, correct? So that in the AA1. So even though what it is not able to what log in, it is redirected to this one. So meaning is what? This functionality is not correct. So you check the login session of username, the header session of username. So we can check whether if it is equal to what null, like that you can check it. So still what it is not opening. So what we have tried with what this also, still it's not open. So that there is thing mistaken is set and not is set of this one. Okay, what may be the mistake? So usually we all will do this kind of mistake. We will not show the error. So whenever we are accessing the session variable, we need to use what? Session underscore what? Start. Use session underscore start, session underscore destroy. Both are important. Okay. So now you check that login area 1. So it is getting up. Okay. So with the valid username and the password we have created. So if you closed this and localhost and then 00 AMS demo. You are not logged in login 1, show the username and password. If you request any other page home dot, so it is getting. The reason is what? We have what already logged in the through what proper username and the password. Suppose we are opening what another uh, menu browser, localhost, so AMS demo slash home dot php. You see that the home dot php we requested, but it is redirected to here. Okay, so invalid username and the password. So now if you are requesting what add account dot php, and this also will be redirected to the login page. Okay, so the thing is what we need to add this code in the header, okay, to provide authentication. So the login page is created. Now we have to add the logout page. So within this inside that, okay, I can add the slash division, okay, and then within that, okay, I can add a paragraph and we can log out welcome and plus username we have to want. So welcome username is what underscore php, okay, php echo dollar underscore one section one and uname. And then we have to provide the link again href equal to what logout dot php. So we can give you a break here via paragraph by default it will provide this one. So that the login page it will not be shown here. Source of AA1. So it is this way. Yes. So when we get when welcome AA username and logout is it should be what logout. So what is the logout code? Create logout dot php. So only we need to check PHP if I have to start a session underscore what start. I need to check if dollar underscore session of uname. Okay, so now I need to check if it is set. If username is available, then that session need to be what destroyed. So session underscore destroy, and then we have to redirect to the home page, login page. So header, okay, location and login dot php. So now we need to what else this username. So, so equal to what? So now you can log out. So it will be okay. So the login and the logout to know if you request any page, if your phone PHP it will not be properly behaved. So we created not a proper login logout home page. Now we need to start to design the ad account page. Okay, that I will explain in the next video.